Good evening, I'm Swastika Panda from OdishaTV.in bringing you today's news from Odisha. First, the headlines. Odisha government waives off value-added tax on aviation turbine fuel completely to attract flight operators to start international operations from Biju Patnaik International Airport. The price of beer in state continues as discussions between Liquor Association and government remains inconclusive. Odisha government announces ₹5 crore financial assistance for earthquake victims in Nepal. 31 meritorious sports persons recruited into various posts in Odisha Police. Chief Minister Navin Patnaik hands over appointment letters. And Japanese men's hockey team arrives at Bhubaneswar for the Test series against India, scheduled to begin at Kalinga Stadium on 3rd May. Now the details. In a bid to attract flight operators to start international operations from Biju Patnaik International Airport, the state government is leaving no stones unturned. In a recent move, the government has decided to totally waive off value-added tax VAT on aviation turbine fuel ATF for airlines who express interest to operate international flights from the airport. The state government had earlier reduced the amount of VAT collected on ATF from 20% collected countrywide to 5%. The airport continues to see growth and the number of passengers handled have crossed the 15 lakh mark. However, even 18 months after getting the tag of an international airport, commercial operations are yet to begin at the Biju Patnaik International Airport. According to sources, in the preliminary stage, discussions are on to extend the services of Mumbai-Bhubaneswar Air India flight to Dubai. Similarly, talks are on for extension of services of Kolkata-Bhubaneswar Indigo flight to Bangkok. Moreover, authorities are in discussions with Jet Airways to launch international operations from the Biju Patnaik International Airport. On the other hand, ABC Airways has agreed to commence operations of its Fly Easy flights connecting Bhubaneswar and Bengaluru from the month of June.
ऑनरेबल हमारे जो चीफ सेक्रेटरी है उन्होंने तो एक मीटिंग में ये हमको बताया भी है कि अगर कोई इंटरनेशनल फ्लाइट आएगी तो उसका जो ATF होता है, फ्यूल होता है, उस पर वैट जीरो कर देंगे. तो ये भी बहुत एक एनकरेजिंग पहल है. तो एयर इंडिया ने इंटरेस्ट शो किया है कि वो बॉम्बे भुवनेश्वर जो फ्लाइट है उसको एक्सटेंड करेगी दुबई तक. तो इंडिगो अपना जो कैलकाटा फ्लाइट है उसको एक्सटेंड करेगी बैंकॉक के लिए.
ये जो वैट जोटा दउछ मैंने कंसेशन जो सब्सिडी कर दी सेटा दैट विल मोटिवेट दी एयरलाइन तांको आउ गोटे एनकरेजमेंट मिली जो बेनिफिट होबो. मैंने ओडिशा राज्य पे बहुत बेनिफिट स्टेक होल्डर में मैंने बेनिफिट हो कहीं आम डायरेक्टली फॉरेन क्लाइंट्स फॉरेन टूरिस्ट मैंने डायरेक्टली ओडिशा का आसी पारिबो.
Odisha government has decided to extend the lease validity period of 18 iron and manganese ore mines which were closed since May last year following a Supreme Court order. An affidavit filed by the state government in Odisha High Court said all the leases have been intimated to execute supplementary lease deed within 3 months. The affidavit was filed by an additional Secretary of Steel and Mines Department yesterday in response to an order passed by the Odisha High Court on March 25th this year. The High Court had asked the government to implement the Mines and Minerals Development and Regulation Amendment Ordinance 2015 and follow the direction of the Union of India, permitting operation to the parties who are entitled for extension of lease in terms of the ordinance by April 27th. The High Court order came during the joint hearing of at least 24 writ petitions filed by leaseholders. The Additional Secretary Sundar Lal Seal in the affidavit also informed the High Court that since the validity period of 8 leases has lapsed prior to coming into force of the Amendment Act, the government has tentatively decided to refuse extension of these leases. Odisha government said yesterday that at least 46 persons belonging to Bhadrak district stranded in Uttarakhand due to landslide have been airlifted to safer place. On receipt of information from collector of Bhadrak regarding 54 persons of the district stranded in Uttarakhand near Pandukeshwar between Badrinath and Haridwar due to landslide, steps were taken for their rescue, Special Relief Commissioner SRC GVV Sharma said. While 46 of them have been airlifted and have arrived at Joshimath, the remaining ones will be ferried by helicopter. A statement issued by the SRC office said.
आज भी से लोक मान सहित जो मैंने ट्राप अच्छा सहित मुझे कथबार्ता से डेराडून कलेक्टर भी चाहूँगी से इवाकुएट कर गोटे सेफ जगह को लेकिन खाद्य पानी बंदोबस्त करने आम रेसिडेंस कमिशनर जो दिल्ली में अच्छा सेठू भी सब चेष्टा चली केमती एवाकुएट कर सेफली नहीं आस.
आज उत्तराखंड रिलीफ कमिशनर सहित कथबार्ता कर लैंडस्लाइड होइछि सत्य किंतु काहारा जीवन रा विपत्ति किछि नाही किंतु सेमान स्टैंडर्ड होइछंती सत्य आ लैंडस्लाइड टाकू रिस्टोर करबा पय पदक्षेप निया जाउछि रिस्टोर हला पले रोड टा क्लियर हबो.
The stalemate over the offer price of beer in the state continues as the discussions between the Excise Commissioner and executives of Indian-made Foreign Liquor IMFL Association held yesterday yielded no results. Meanwhile, according to sources, the association will submit a charter of demands to the high-level committee constituted by the government. On the other hand, the government also held discussions with the Beer Manufacturers Association yesterday. Notably, the Odisha State Beverages Corporation OSBC had moved the state government for cancellation of factory licenses and label registration of 5 breweries for not signing agreement with it for supply of beer during 2015-16. The move followed after the companies failed to sign supply pact with OSBC, the state-run wholesale distributor of beer and Indian-made Foreign Liquor IMFL, on or before the scheduled date. The leading liquor brands are opposing the reduction in offer price of beer to the extent of 20% in the new excise policy of the state. The beer producers feel that the stiff cut in the offer price would result in business loss of over rupees 100 crore per annum.
से बियर कंपनी मान से डका जाइला ताकर अभियोग मध्य शुणा जाइला ताको कुआ जाइला तुमे वर्तमान एग्रीमेंट करिक तुम बियर सप्लाई कर तो तुमर ऑफर प्राइस को आउ किछि बढ़ाई देवा पई आमे निश्चित भाव चेष्टा करूँ कारण ये कैबिनेट निष्पत्ति अनुसार कैबिनेट अप्रूवाल अनुसार होती बर्तमान हठात पुणी सरकार को आसो कैबिनेट को जीव ये समय नब तेणु कहगला तुम्हें सप्लाई कर विश्वास रख आम तुमको 10% कि 12% आम उठे नबू एवं तुम तो बियर सप्लाई कर से कहते आमको लेखिकी दिंतु जदि लेखिकी नदेवे आम केमती देवु तो ये कथा तो रही सरकार तरफ कहुच्छी लेखिकी देवा संभव होनी ये कारण यह मुख्यमंत्री एवं कैबिनेटर मंजूर आवश्यकता अच्छी तेणु यही प्रस्ताव विभाग तरफ जो दिज्व से पुणी विधिवत भाव में मुख्यमंत्री अप्रूवाल हम तापर कैबिनेट मेमोरांडम तैयारी हम कैबिनेट को जीव यही सब जो प्रक्रिया अच्छी ये प्रक्रिया न सरू लेखिकी देवा इन पक्ष संभव होना यही विवाद रही आज डका जाता कौन हो फलाफल मुझे जानी ना.
Barely a week after the transfer of Tara Dutt, who headed the task force investigating irregularities into allotments of lands and flats under discretionary quota, the State Housing and Urban Development Department has asked the Bhubaneswar Development Authority BDA, Cuttack Development Authority CDA and Odisha State Housing Board OSHB not to hand over the files related to allotment of plots and flats to vigilance till further instruction. Housing Board Director Rajat Mishra on April 27th wrote to the Vice Chairman of BDA, CDA and Secretary of OSHB asking them to wait till further order as modalities over the implementation of Tara Dutt Task Force report have not yet been determined. Since the modalities for implementation of Task Force report have not been finalized, you are requested to wait till the same is finalized and receipt of instruction in this regard. The letter said, basing on the inquiry report of the task force, the State Cabinet on December 18, 2014 had cancelled all houses and plots allotted under the discretionary quota DQ since January 1, 1995 and decided to conduct a vigilance inquiry and initiate criminal proceedings against those who produced false affidavit to get plots and houses under discretionary quota meant for martyrs, sportspersons and distinguished personalities. A fire broke out in the ordnance factory of Badmal in Balangir district yesterday. According to plant officials, no one was hurt in the mishap. The incident took place at the time of melting of the explosives inside the filling station unit of the factory. General manager of the factory, A.K. Agrawal, said, adding that nobody was injured in the incident and the fire was controlled in about 2 hours. Fire tenders from Saintala rushed to the factory to extinguish the blaze. Soon after the fire, security personnel cordoned off the factory premises. Chief Minister Navin Patnaik yesterday announced ₹5 crore assistance for the earthquake victims in Nepal. The government has deputed 3 senior officials of the Odisha State Disaster Mitigation Authority (OSDMA) to Nepal to assist in the ongoing relief and restoration operation. Patnaik earlier proposed to send Odisha Disaster Rapid Action Force or DRAF teams to Nepal to help people in the relief and restoration work. The Chief Minister expressed hope that normalcy would return soon in the country. The severe earthquake had caused extensive loss of life and property in the Himalayan country. Chief Minister Navin Patnaik yesterday handed over appointment letters to 31 meritorious sportspersons at a function near Kalinga Stadium. As per the direct recruitment policy for successful sportspersons of the state, all 31 talented sportspersons will be observed at different levels of Odisha Police. Women cricketers from the state Rosanara Parveen Madhuri Mehta and international kabaddi player Rashmita Sahu, rowers Pramila Prabha Minj and Pratima Puhan have got the post of Sub-Inspector of Police. Meanwhile, other sportspersons from the state also got constable and sepoy posts in State Police Department.
31 sportspersons were given appointment letters in the state police organization in various ranks on the basis of their sporting achievements. I reflect our commitment for promotion of sports and games in the state and also to encourage our young sportspersons to take to a culture of sporting excellence.
The Japanese men's hockey team arrived at Bhubaneswar today for the upcoming test series with India, which is scheduled to be held from May 3rd at Kalinga Stadium. The Indian team is expected to arrive later in Bhubaneswar today. The test series between India and Japan will be in preparation of all-important FIH Hockey World League semi-final scheduled in June this year. The preparatory camp for the test series, which started on April 22nd at the Major Dhyan Chand National Stadium, ended yesterday. Notably, India announced its 24-member team for the series against Japan yesterday. Odisha's Birendra Lakra is one of the members of the team named for the test series. Meanwhile, the state sports department has made all arrangements for the smooth conduct of the series. No entry fees will be charged from spectators who can enjoy the match free of cost.
We've brought a squad of 24 players to Bhubaneswar, so we're giving a few new people a chance to show us how they perform during a match, basically. So I think this is one of our final preparations before we pick our team for World League Round 3, which is a semi-final which is taking on some of the best teams in the world in Belgium.
Is there any more series again?
There won't be anything else happening in India between now and when the team leaves for World League Round 3. We have obviously practice matches and warm-up matches in Belgium to get a feel for the pitch. But this is in India, part of our final preparations.
First match in South Korea. They play very well. I think India team. Now India team is good team. Yeah.
What is the Japan main strong area?
Japan team, we play in team play is very good. The teamwork in attack, in defense. I think these areas we must more make stronger.
The Mahayagya for the felling of the Daru or the neem tree identified for creation of new idol of goddess Subhadra began today. All preparations were made at Adhanga, Jagat Singhpur, the location of Daru of goddess Subhadra. According to sources, all the preliminary rituals were conducted and the Mahayagya will continue till tomorrow. The Yagya will conclude with the Purnahuti. The Purnahuti of the Mahayagya will be conducted tomorrow, after which the identified Daru or the neem tree will be brought to ground. Meanwhile, the Daru of Lord Balabhadra is continuing its journey towards Puri. Thousands of devotees are gathering on the streets to have a glimpse of the Daru on its way to Puri. The roads on the travel path of the Daru were also seen decorated with rangolis and flowers as a mark of worship to Lord Balabhadra.
आज प्रभुंकर सकाळु सूर्य पूजा परे एठी जोटा कि आम यज्ञ मंडप पूजा होला तापर महायज्ञ आरंभ हो जाइए ये जो महायज्ञ आरंभ होइछि ये हमर चलिबो पूरा संध्या पर्यंत पुणी काली सकाळ पुणी आरंभ हो काली प्राय 5टा पर्यंत महायज्ञ चलिबो सेतबे पर्यंत हमर समस्त दैवतापति माने एठी महायज्ञर जो मंत्र पाठ करिवे पंडित माने पाठ करिवे जेतबे पर्यंत ये मंत्र नृसिंह मंत्र शेष न होइछि सेतबे पर्यंत आम समस्त उपवास रहिबु निर्जल रहिबु ता संगे संगे सेमती 2 दिन पर महायज्ञर समस्त मंत्र शेष हम शेष हवा पर महाप्रभुंकर गछटी भूमिष्ठ करा जो सुना कोड़ाड़ी और रूप कोड़ाड़ी आम टच करूँ ताकू लुहा कोड़ाड़ी कटाଯିव कटागला अन्य कार्य आरंभ कर
यज्ञ आम ठाकुर तो स्वयं उभा होला भाई आमको लगुच तो देखु लोक प्रबल बहुत गहली अच्छी यज्ञ भी चली तापर आम कौन कहू ठाकुर
तो खुशी लगुच भगवान भाग्य थिले आमे देखि पारू ए दारू ब्रह्म को आमे बहुत खुशी लगुच आमे 3टा दारू जतोल पाइलु आमे देखिया पाइ बिलकरी बरमपुर आसी.
Before wrapping up the headlines once again, Odisha government waives off value-added tax on aviation turbine fuel completely to attract flight operators to start international operations from B.J. Patnaik International Airport. The price of beer in state continues as discussions between Liquor Association and government remains inconclusive. Odisha government announces ₹5 crore financial assistance for earthquake victims in Nepal. 31 meritorious sportspersons recruited into various posts in Odisha Police. Chief Minister Navin Patnaik hands over appointment letters. And Japanese men's hockey team arrives at Bhubaneswar for the Test series against India, scheduled to begin at Kalinga Stadium on 3rd May. Thank you for watching. Good night.